artwork worth $69 million. Yes, you're going to learn about that. But just before we dive into the story, let me just chip this in case you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching this from. You could just shout out, leave a comment, and I'll reach out to you. Today is my birthday. I'm happy to be alive. Like I said in previous episodes, we started this live stream 5 weeks ago, and that was the pre-launch. Today, I finally launched the platform Osas Music TV with the story why a 32-year-old migrant acquired a digital artwork worth $69 million. So, what's the platform all about? To just refresh and get your memory up to speed. The platform, as I told you, I started it, the live stream 5 weeks ago, but then the platform didn't just start 5 weeks ago. It's a project that has been in the works, and what actually accelerated the whole thing was the fact that I had fathers writing to me who have viewed my work online and have been inspired by my work. They've been inspired to make a decision to leave. I just it became like a pattern. I noticed that most of the people who were writing me from different parts of the world were fathers, and they were going through a lot. They were going through a lot of stress. So I just took it upon myself to accelerate things, to get the platform up and running so that I could help as many fathers as I can. Because I know we are in an unprecedented time. The pandemic has crippled a lot of businesses. It has laid off so many people from work. And here in this platform, what we have here in Osas Music Television, it's a no-brainer. It's beginner friendly. As you already know what music is. Music is a combination of sound and instruments. When you apply sound and instruments to produce a melody that expresses emotion, that is music. And music is an art on its own, So if you agree with me, music is a tool used in modulating emotions. Two things happen in music. The singer or the artist is expressing his or her emotion, and the consumer or the listener is actually modulating or stabilizing his or her emotion. When people are basically stressed, music is one tool they use in relaxing the soul, relaxing the mind. And now you can imagine that a lot of people are stressed across the globe. So the only logical thing to do is to, as a creator myself, it's to create a platform whereby other creators like myself could express themselves, and people, consumers, could actually get themselves mentally and emotionally stabilized, including financially stabilize their finances too, because that's one of the things the platform has been created to perform, to achieve. What we are doing here is, as a digital philanthropist, I'm just a bridge between the profits and the non-profit sector. We are bridging the gap between the profits and the non-profit sector. Now, the non-profit sector, as you may already know, the people out there, the principal players, they got into that industry due to their compassion to help their community. That's how they got into the industry. That's what drives them. They are driven by compassion, and they are not there for commercial reasons. So, as you already know, that the non-profit sector is always, should I say, plagued with issues regarding finance. They always work on tight budgets. So, because of that, their hands are always tied. They can't actually employ so many people. So, they have less paid staff, and more of their workers are volunteers. So, every now and then, they are always in need of extra hands to get the job done, extra hands and funding. Now, in the wake of the pandemic, so many people in that sector equally lost their job. So you can see how precarious the case is. Now, when you now go into the other flip side of it, the profit sector, that is driven for commercial reasons. So we are bridging the gap between compassion and commercial. In a sense, you have to make a sale, you have to create a service. So equally, you have to make, let me put it this way, you have to create a service to accrue profits for a purpose. That's the way it is. So the profit sector now serving the non-profit sector. Now, who are the people, the principal players in this model? Like I said, the non-profit sector is always served by volunteers. These are people who have the heart to serve. Now, most of them might be employed or might not be employed. But one thing I understand, because I'm a volunteer myself, and one thing I understand is the fact that finance comes into it, funding comes into it. So I just had to create this platform, bridge the gap, whereby people just like me who want to contribute, who want to serve a purpose, but then you are on a tight string of budget. You have a lot of people, like a lot of fathers write me from different parts of the world. And at the end of the day, it's still the same issues we face, kind of like funding. So we had to come up with a platform whereby we could serve one sector, the profit sector, and at the end of the day, we could finance the non-profit sector, serve the profit sector, and fund the non-profit sector. And digital philanthropy is just the perfect tool for it. Now, the niche we're looking at is digital art. 2 years ago, I started this journey. 3 years ago, I've been training people as a creator, helping people balance their emotion. Like I said, artwork it's something that is a tool using in expressing yourself. Get the point now. Now, these are people, migrants themselves, who are trying to find their feet. Some of them lost their jobs. This was before COVID. Some of them lost their jobs. Some of them, their businesses kind of crashed. So they needed to engage themselves. From my own experience and experiments I had with them, I discovered that they work better and they are much more healthier and happier when you have music playing in the background while they work. This was what I did back in the days, and that was the experience I got. The result is that they were in a better mental state. Emotionally, they were stable, and financially, they were equally stable. You can see they're happy. So after achieving this feat, I decided, okay, now everyone is online. Everybody is going online. There's something equally I can put online. And then in my own little research, looking at different resources, I found the crypto art space very interesting. It's a niche that has come to stay. It's a niche, it's quite new. It's something that people have not actually tapped into. So I decided to, just give it a look in and see what this whole niche is all about. In particularly, after finding out about the artwork, the NFTs that went for $69 million. Now, if you've been following my live stream, 2 episodes ago, I made mention of this guy. His name is Man, popularly known as Bible. His artwork is called Bible. A 40-year-old father who created, should I say, I'll call it a wonderful piece of artwork, which he sold for $100, and the second buyer purchased it from an auction house for $69 million. Wow, the world was astounded when this happened. Even Bible himself, he was flabbergasted by the sale. But, the media covered this whole thing, and the attention was on Bible, that's Wiggleman, who you're watching right here. Little was said about the buyer, the guy who purchased 69 million digital artwork. Little was said about him. And from our estimation, everybody felt he must have been a billionaire based in the US or the UK or somewhere in Europe. You understand what I'm talking about? Or probably here in Australia, someone who is probably in his third circle of life. Probably he purchased it just as a legacy for his grandkids or whatnot. But little did the world know that the buyer of the wonderful piece of artwork was actually a far cry from people's expectation. When he unveiled his own identity, people were surprised because he had his own story to tell, which I'm about to expose to you. So just sit back and relax in the next 8 minutes. Let's hear what this young 32 years old migrant have to say. He has his own story, why he purchased the artwork worth 69 million US dollars. Okay, let's go, and I'll be back and I'll give you more details about Osas Music TV. All right, let's roll.
And to make small bets, 5% of your net worth or less is what I always tell people when they're doing experimental stuff. How much of your net worth is in crypto?
Okay, so this question again is a disclaimer, right? Because I said I have no fiat. So like I am 99% invested in crypto at any point.
Do you own your own home?
No, I have no house. I have no car. I have no physical property.
So if the crypto bubble were to pop like the .com one did and lose 90% of its value, you would literally lose 90% of your net worth.
But but that's okay because my burn rate is like $3,000 a month.
Got it. Okay. Are you open to unsolicited feedback?
Please.
I think you've done okay. And if you could spend 70 million on an NFT, I think it's okay for you to buy a really nice house. And then buy a second really nice house. Like, this is my best advice to you. Literally 20% of your net worth, because trust me, it's not going to make a difference in the end. And it's a great downside protection for you to have the best penthouse in Singapore and the best island beach retreat. You'll get use out of them. Promise me you'll diversify just 10%.
Okay.
Will you diversify 10%?
So here's my answer, right? Like I'm planning to do that, and I've already started working on it. But the thing is, I didn't get here because of a choice of just keeping everything in crypto. It was not a choice. I don't come from the US. You should understand that. I come from a country where if I had physical property and I was who I was, I might not have that physical property today. Because
explain. Which country is this?
I'm from India.
Right. So what you're saying is you can't, the system there is not trustworthy.
Yeah, like you think like physical property rights is not the same across the world, and that's the motivation for me to be in crypto, right? Now I can say, okay, in Singapore maybe it's safer, but like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, right? Like when I wanted to buy a property in India, it was always in my head where I was thinking, because you can be targeted, right? Like every individual is a minority.
See, this is a fascinating discussion. I'm coming to it from the American perspective, where I've never seen anybody have their home taken from them. In fact, if you want to build a highway here, or when they were building the Nets Stadium in Brooklyn, there were people who held out and were like, I'm not giving you my house. And the government's like, eminent domain. And they were like, F you, I'm going to fight it forever. And we literally have instances where people, in fact, did you ever see the Pixar movie Up?
Yeah.
With the balloons? Like literally the premise of that is there's an old man in a house where he grew up with his sweetheart or his wife and she passes away and he just doesn't want to give up the home. And no matter how much money they give him. So we have in our hearts and souls this idea that it's your property, you have it forever, but you come from a world where that's actually not how the world works. And it's one of the beautiful things about crypto in this moment in time is that we all get to see a different perspective when coming to the table. To you, crypto's less risk. To me, it's more risk. It's a really fascinating moment.
That's truly America, right? Like I'm having goosebumps right now, but I've been telling this to people. Crypto is like if America is an idea, crypto is just the new America, right? And
crypto is the new America
because it's freedom. It's freedom and open borders. And like I came from India. I didn't grow up in the US. I didn't grow up in the West. Until until I was 16, I grew up in a small town in India, and I got the same opportunity to invest in Ethereum as a guy from San Francisco, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So so that's
Amazing.
how I made my money. So whatever you see today and the people story, this whole 69 million story also is very powerful because it's a story of crypto more than it being a story of just me, right? Credits to the
It's amazing.
industry and credits for the generous people who decided to share the piece of the pie.
Listen, you're a fascinating guy. Any closing comments you want to make?
Sure. So, like a bit about NFTs, right? Like, a lot of people look at NFTs as, like interesting new investment asset. Definitely is, and there's a lot of risk involved in it, but I feel like there's more angles to it, more angles to look at an NFT. So you could be a collector for a narrative, for a cause. You could also be an artist for a cause, not just like taking your digital art and putting it online, but you can really support a cause with it, right? And it's a visual medium. So NFTs are a great way to support a specific cause you are really fond of, and it's going to hold its value over time, based on the community that's around it, right? So again, this is a huge risk. It's not like NFTs will make you money, but it's a nice way to even think about it as a philanthropic thing, right? Like there are angles to it. So I would urge people, especially the people who made a lot of money in crypto, I urge them to buy art, right? Like I urge them to say, like, take a little bit of your money and maybe buy a little bit of digital art and make a gallery in the virtual world and hang them, and I'll come and visit it.
I love it. And I think we'll end with, if America was an idea, crypto is the new America. It means freedom. It means open borders and global accessibility. It means ownership of property. What a great discussion this has been. And really appreciate you taking the time. I know you've got a zillion other things to do, but I can't wait to meet you in person. But here we go. Lightning round, as quick as you can. If you do not own Bitcoin, what cryptocurrencies are in your portfolio?
Polkadot.
Okay. Anon asks, how would you recommend a young content creator start utilizing or investing in NFTs? I think you answered that. Like, do things you enjoy with art. Anything else?
And probably be at the meetups. So there are virtual meetups. One called WIP, WIP, Work in Progress. Yeah. So if you search for it, it's the best place to get started and be part of the community.
Love it. Veronica asks, what are Metakovin's thoughts on the upcoming PAC action, PAK auction rather? What is the PAC auction? Do you know?
Like auction, right? Like PAC is doing a Sotheby's drop. I think it's interesting. I want to observe it. I don't have a particular opinion about it, and I don't know if I'm participating, so I don't want to comment on it.
Cody asks, where can we experience Metakovin's collection?
The best way right now is just going on OpenSea. We are building up a lot of these monuments, but two things. B20.metaverse.fund has all the Beeple collection. So that's a monument in the metaverse. So you have the coordinates. That's one. The other one is OpenSea. You can go to OpenSea and search Metaverse, and you will see our wallet full of these digital art collection.
Fantastic. That'll end our program for the day. Metakovin, you've been absolutely fantastic for giving us so much of your time.
Wow. So interesting. You heard from the horse's mouth himself. Now, do you know what intrigued me in the whole story? He's 32 years old. He has no house, no car, no physical assets attached to his name. All his assets are all virtual. In the virtual, they are digital. You get the point now. Now, he is from India, South India, a migrant from India in Singapore. Now, what he didn't say in that interview, because So many media outlets have interviewed him, and we still have more media outlets interviewing him. He's now become a sensation, and that was essentially what he did. He's trying to bring some credibility into the online world and the crypto space. So in some other interviews, he said that basically he has no house, he's got no car, and what he's looking for is freedom as a migrant, freedom, flexibility. And when I talk about flexibility, is the fact that you could access the internet. The internet has got no borders. And that's how the crypto world is. There are no borders. So wherever you are on the planet, you are in business. And there's more to it too as a migrant too, He said crypto is the new America. They say America is a land of liberty and opportunities. Say crypto, you have freedom, you have opportunities, and the new kid on the block right now is NFTs, that's digital artworks that are in the blockchain. Another thing he mentioned there in that interview, if you're listening carefully, he spoke about philanthropy, and that's where the area I'm looking at right now. Philanthropy says a nice platform to, participate in philanthropy. And this crypto space, NFT, crypto art is new. It's a niche that I would say just 0.2% of the non-profit sector is aware of. And that is the sector that is actually going to drive this space. As you mentioned, philanthropy, because here is the thing. Art is art. Artwork is artwork. Unlike cryptocurrencies themselves, when you trade cryptocurrencies, the market is very volatile. So it's very, very, very risky. You understand? You're taking a huge risk. But the flip side of it is crypto art. Crypto art is huge. Art is everything. Tables, shoes, the stuff I'm wearing, clothes, everything. They're all piece of artwork. Music, movies, you just name it, is wide. So it's an open playing field when you look at the art world. The art world has been brought online. That's what crypto art is all about. And you see, what he did there was this. Others will assume that, oh, fine, he spent $69 million. He didn't spend it. He simply invested it. Or let me say, he just transferred the money. And here is the story how it went. Bible sold his artwork for $100 to a speculator. That was the first buyer. The speculator went into the auction house to make the sale. And there, Metacoven, the migrant, purchased it for $69 million. Bible was rewarded $6.9 million as royalties for that transaction. Now, why did he do that? Bible actually took his artwork, everything he had done in the past 15 years, everything was pushed into a JPEG file. That's, you can see here. He piped everything into a file, like 15 years of hard work. And Bible made a statement that if you work for 5,000 days consistently, you'll be successful. Now, that was what moved the needle. If you listen to Metacoven's subsequent interviews, he said it was the story that came, as they say, the tale is what makes the sale. It was that tale of, oh, a 40-year-old father worked consistently online for 5,000 days and he decided to pump everything in a JPEG file. I was like, wow, what a magnificent story. And he did it for just $100. No, this guy, 15 years of your life is worth more than $100. I would give it 69 million because I want life. Look at it from this angle. He's just 32. Now, my own calculation, if at 32 you're working in the corporate world, and you are paid, say your annual take home, it's $100,000. Let's take it in the space of 10 years, maybe some increment, it grows incrementally. Take to $1 million, and you do this for 30 more years. So let's say 40 years. Okay, let's put it that way. Let me assume $1 million for 40 years. As they say, work 40 hours for 40 years to earn a retirement of 40% of your income, 40-40. So 40 years, that's $40 million, including, say, 10 years of retirement. That'll be like $4 million. Let me put it that way. It still would not add up to $69 million. But what he did there was he compressed time. It's an investment. He compressed time. Or like, hey, this guy has compressed his work into a JPEG file. I'm going to put my money to grow. And what's going to make it grow? As we heard from what he said there, philanthropy. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. That's what he's going for. That as much it's a two-way traffic. Okay, Bible is the record holder, the artist who created the work. Now, what you have there in the blockchain is transfer of ownership. The license was sold to him. Okay, he's not the new owner. But the fact still remains that Bible was the one who created it. Bible is the source. So whatever happens to Bible rubs off on the artwork. And whatever happens to him rubs off on the artwork. So the money, $69 million, is safer on the piece of artwork because an artwork is epic. It never loses value. It's digital. Unlike if it's a physical asset, which is susceptible to loss, he could lose his money. If that money remains in cash, $69 million, inflation will take it away from him. So rather than leaving it in cash or cryptocurrency, because he spent 42,000 Ethereum, that's Ethereum coins, in purchasing the artwork. So instead of leaving the 69 million in Ether, decide to put it in artwork because art is art. From ancient civilization to modern civilization, it's always the same. As they call it, relics of the past. The older, the better. They call it golden oldie. And here it's in the blockchain. So it's safe up there in the clouds. Nothing is going to touch it. So his money is safe. 69 million. It's safe right there. And it will only increase. It will only grow with good deeds. Because as I said, it's the tail that makes the sail. That's just what he did there. People had his own tail. He is now coming up showing the world his own tail. That's the way the industry is governed. You understand? It's the story that maintains the glory. As far as there's a story, there's a glory. When there's a glory, there's a story. Story, glory, coming together. So as far as the story cannot, the story cannot be stolen, the glory cannot be stolen. The story cannot die, the glory cannot die. So the money will only grow. The $69 million will only grow. And that's why he's advising others like himself who have made money online, particularly in the crypto space, that go put your money in crypto arts. You're helping the industry, you're helping yourself. And basically, if what he recommended is philanthropy, you are securing your money in digital artwork, and simultaneously, you are saving so many lives. That's what we have here in Osas Music Television. Giving you the platform. Category 1, you've been online, you've been successful, you've made money, you're looking for a good soil to sow your seed in. Come to me. come to those like us, digital philanthropy. We are just a good soil to sow in. Your money is going to be secured, and same time, you're going to be saving so many lives. 3, your money is going to equally increase. 3 things: secured, you're saving lives, and you're going to make profits. That's just what he said there. That's the statement he made. The 69 million, it's what I call faith. It was faith, that's faith in action. This is my statement. This industry has come to stay. Crypto artwork. Because he said freedom. Anybody who do anything for freedom, he's a migrant. You get what I mean now? Like I just told you 2 weeks ago, a Vietnamese, that was family moved into Canada years back, they boarded the boat, and of the family that moved into Canada, one, his daughter, she's now making waves in Canada, and she decided to step out to share the story of their journey to freedom. And she said, will you take this chance for freedom, chase down and be killed on a hunt, die at sea because you run out of water or food, or was caught by pirates, raped or kept as a sex slave? Anybody will do anything for freedom. That's the migrant spirit. One man's meat is another man's poison. If you listen to the interview, 2 perspectives. He grew up in India. Why the guy interviewing him is an American. One would look at crypto as high risk, but he is seeing crypto as a safe haven. In life, they say it's either you are chasing something or something is chasing you. Because I'm a migrant myself, I know what it is like. There in the crypto space, there are no barriers, no borders. No one is going to judge you. It's all about your faith. It's how deep your faith is. How deep is your faith? How deep is your love? What I see here is self-worth, and that's what he's talking about. Self-worth. He just increased his worth by acquiring the artwork. And like I said in the last stream, self-worth is self-respect. Respect for self, respect for your neighbors, respect for your colleagues, respect for humanity, respect for your community. He's just showing the world how big, how deep his faith is in the virtual world. Actually, he's putting a museum together, a virtual museum. That's why he purchased the artwork. He's putting a virtual museum together. Now, he said a lot. If you follow the story, people will assume he has no car, he has no house. You could pass him for a miscreant in the streets. And that's the statement he's trying to make, that you don't underestimate anyone. People talk about high-paying clients. That's a high-paying client, but he doesn't even look close to what people's anticipation about a high-paying client is. Now, he should be living in a penthouse. He should be living or having a Lamborghini somewhere in Dubai. Mind you, he's lived in Dubai. Since he left India, he lived in Dubai. He lived in Canada. He studied, in Canada before moving to Singapore. All through, no physical assets, no house, no car. In fact, he started with just a flash drive. He couldn't afford a laptop. Just for 5 years, about 6 years, he couldn't afford a laptop. His story is a story that will inspire anybody. And that's what he said. He learned how to code. He built 54 websites, of which 51 was a colossal failure. He dabbled into 51 businesses with the websites. None amounted to anything until he fell into the crypto space. So the message here is that maybe you've been trying stuff and things have not been working. just have to have an open mind. And that's why Osas Music Television has been established. Let me just show you something I did. Have a feel of what crypto artwork is like. Now, this is a still image. Okay? Now, Osas Music TV, we now worked on this to make it cryptic. And here we go. Now you see the motion and music. See the motion and the music. It goes. That's crypto art. You could convert your photos right now and make it crypto. That's what my music television is about. What we're going to be doing here is this, like I said, if you're successful, you're trying to contribute, you're looking for a good soil to sow, this is the perfect place. Your trips, you're going to be winning dream vacations, both local and internationally. And your pictures, you could bring it to us, my team and myself, we convert them into crypto artwork. So you are supporting our philanthropic work, because I do a lot of work with the Salvation Army. Okay, now let me quickly show you a piece of artwork here I created in the studio. This is going to blow your mind.
While today's your birthday, I'm super excited for you, Osas. Indeed, you are one in a million. Come to think of the fact that you pulled this off with a very tight budget. I really admire your resilience and tenacity. So good to be on board Osas Music TV.
That's another piece of work we did here. So it's gonna blow your mind. Now, like I said, you're successful, you're looking for a good soil to sow in. The digital artwork here on Osas Music TV is a very beautiful place to sow in. And so you are a newbie online, you're looking for something to do, you've not found something tangible, something meaningful to do, equally come to us. And the platform equally gives you the room to get your hands dirty online with. You understand why I say dirty? It's the fact that there are lots of things you could contribute, in particular in the non-profit sector. And we will help you with our licensing and funding system to make you financially stable. Then the third categories of people are people who are looking for a career change. Maybe you lost your business to COVID, or better yet, you don't really find meaning in the work you do, because go check out the internet, the great resignation. It's now a buzzword going all around the internet. People resigning. In America alone, they've had over 4 million people this year who have resigned. So if you are one of them, well, welcome on board. If you're looking for something meaningful to do, you could equally pop in. Come to Osas Music Television and lend a hand. Essentially, you will find meaning, because I don't see any more meaningful work to do when you are supporting the less needy. It's quite meaningful. You understand what I mean? There is a lot to be done in the non-profit sector. And this platform, it's going to blow your mind with all what we've acquired so far, put together. Osas Osaga is my name. I'm the founder and project coordinator of Osas Music Television. Today's my birthday. That's why this live stream has stayed longer than the usual one. Anyway, so I would love to take my leave now so that we get kicking. Come Monday, things are going to change. The action resumes. It's going to be using the known to reach the unknown. I call it play it forward. So this is going to happen for the next 30 days. We are going to reach out. I'll be reaching out to people. And if you want to be part of this game, you want to be part of this platform, you want to be part of this vision, basically, you could just comment in the replay and I'll reach out to you and tell you the modalities of how we're going to play it forward for the next 30 days. Then after 30 days, we'll come and we'll have our first academy where we'll let you in on inside secrets of the sector. So better yet, you get to know how to make profits in the industry, the crypto arts industry, even without trading, how to make daily profits without even trading. Like I said, good deeds is what makes the money grow. It's a good soil. By just planting, sowing your seed, just like what Meta Coven has done, $69 million, you see how it's going to grow your money, even without trading. We're going to bring out that academy, in that workshop in 30 days from now. But then you want to be part of it, just comment. I reach out to you and tell you how you go about it, how you'll be able to participate in the workshop. It's going to be online. So they say the more the merrier. The more hands I have on deck, the more people I can support, and the more impacts you and I will make. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here. It's about 7 a.m. here now. I have to take my leave, and it's a lockdown, so we're all locked and snowed in here in Sydney. It's still a lockdown. I think we still have 3 more weeks to go in the lockdown. God help us. Anyway, stay safe, stay calm. Since you're part of my crew, definitely by Monday we'll start, and I'll give a shout out to the Haps family who have been with me for the past 5 weeks. It's not been easy getting up early to put up this stream, to keep you updated. And if you've been watching for the past 5 weeks, you call it Signify. You could subscribe or comment, and I'll reach out to you to give you a shout out. All right. And last, before I leave, I almost forgot it because I told my friend, all the August celebrants, the August babies. Yes, I've reached out to some of them. If you are one, yes, get ready. Monday, we are starting. It's play it forward. Action resumes on Monday. August it's a huge month. Most of the visitors from August are always huge. They are big boys and girls. All right, let me take my leave. Thank you. You've been on board since 40 minutes ago. Thank you. This is the longest ever. Thank you. I really appreciate it from the depths of my heart. God be with you, and see you at the top. Bless you.